this is a bit more personal. I think like this is more emotional from your perspective, and not like general thoughts on philosophy and the world. More stream of conscious, I would say, or consciousness. I endure myself. I endure my selfsame fool. I endure my selfsame foolish, uncool doom. I endure me being... Okay, yeah. I endure myself. I endure myself. I endure my selfsame fool. I endure my selfsame foolish, uncool doom. I endure me being endurable to myself, and it feels neither bad nor good. I live dangerously. I live in a folly full of dangers. I live in a euphoric rally called dancing ranges. I live dangerously enough to die cowardly. But before... Sorry. I live dangerously. I live in a folly full of dangers. I live in a euphoric rally called dancing ranges. I live dangerously enough to die cowardly. But before that, I wish to become a stranger. I yearn for the impossible. I yearn for the imperfectly reducible here and now. I yearn for the perfectly irreducible power of no matter how. I yearn for the impossibly done when the undoable proclaim nothing in disclaiming everything aloud.
I feel tongue-tied, but very beautiful poem, by the way, very beautiful. I endure myself. I endure my self-same fool. I endure my self-same foolish, uncool doom. I endure me being endurable to myself, and it feels neither bad nor good. I live dangerously. I live in a folly full of dangers. I live in a euphoric rally called dancing rangers. I live dangerously enough to die cowardly, but before that, I wish to become a stranger. I yearn for the impossible. I yearn for the imperfectly reducible here and now. I yearn for the perfectly irreducible power of no matter how. I yearn for the impossibly done when the undoable proclaim nothing in disclaiming everything aloud.
I feel a little sad, but this is like real life when you are scared, when you want to do something but you feel that you don't have enough strength to do something and enough courage to feel everything you want to feel. Very impressive.
I feel a bit vulnerable, honest to myself.
I don't feel that sad. I would mostly describe it as a very calm feeling of acceptance, not self-love, but self-acceptance. I know my flaws. I maybe not like them, but I accept them. And basically they make me who I am. Maybe not only the good parts of myself, but also the parts that I don't like, I would like to change, but they're part of myself.
To not take yourself too seriously and to like live your life fully and not take everything seriously and do some stupid things, but also to live in the moment.
Motivates me to do something, like to know that my life is my life and I should live it, having no regrets in the end, even if I did something wrong or didn't do something.
Overall, I endure myself because it applies for many, levels in my life. It's just good or bad. I think we just have to always believe that everything will work out and just keep pushing to whatever feels right in life. And
I endure me being endurable to myself, and it feels neither bad nor good. Like this duality, like life is dual actually in everything. I live dangerously enough to die cowardly. Actually, this is oxymoron when you are. If you live dangerously, this means that you're actually not a coward.
I live dangerously enough to die cowardly, but before that, I wish to become a stranger. It's very, I don't know, it's very appealing to me.
There's like different layers to it, but like the idea of being a stranger to whom? A stranger to others, that the loss of me doesn't hurt them, or a stranger to myself, that I am not so much aware of my, well, decay, or the possibility that I die.
I yearn for the imperfectly reducible here and now. It's very realistic because the world is like very incomplete and we still try to give our best. I yearn for the perfectly irreducible power of no matter how. I don't know, it sounds poetic and like you want everything to work out no matter how.
Because of the power of the moment, because the poem is about the future, how, at least for me, how in the end I will accept and I will love myself, but at the moment I maybe won't do it, but I know that if that moment will come, but right now I need to concentrate on the moment that is in front of me and in which I'm living in.
I know the word, but I can't really. Can you describe endure, the word?
Do I endure myself? Oh, every day. Setting goals, objectives that you want to do during the day and not doing them, not getting to them.
I think every day, as I left Mexico to come to Germany, and I have to push myself to do what I want to do in life and get out of my comfort zone. So I think every day I have to endure myself to keep going. Yeah.
How I understood the word endure, it's very negative. So yes, I agree with you. Like I'm pushing myself also, like every day, some days more, some days less. But endure to me implies that I'm not okay with me and I am okay with me. For me, it doesn't sound like something good to endure myself, like I can barely stand myself, but I can stand myself. So yeah, so I do endure myself, but I wouldn't say I endure myself in a bad way, but in a good way.
Well, I have to. That's difficult to describe. I mean, there is no other chance for me but to endure myself, other than letting go of myself or giving up myself, and that's not what I want. It's sometimes hard. So sometimes I endure myself by just sleeping as much as I can. Sometimes I don't have to endure myself. Sometimes I get drunk. Sometimes I get high. Sometimes I lose myself in worlds like yours, and try to turn to literature to become someone else, and to have this escape in my mind. Very melodic and playful.
Lyric, rhythmic. It's very rhythmic. Well, I want to say poetic, but it is a poem, so that kind of makes sense, yeah.
I like the play with the prefixes.
You used like the same words, but then you started separating them and adding something, so you can see it with myself and then my self-same, and then like with the F, like self-same fool, so like it feels like it's connected. And then self-same foolish. Here you can see with the impossible, imperfectly. So it's the imp, and then like the imperfectly goes to perfectly, which is the opposite, but it works in that case. Every term starts very simple and enlarges itself.
Everything is repeated a few times at the beginning.
Repetition of something, or these parallel constructions full of like these adjectives that are really strong.
The picture shows vulnerability, and the same vulnerability is in the poem.
I don't want to say like breaking down, but it's kind of like holding on.
I think it goes down to your soul.
For me, the poem is about self-acceptance, and not only in the mental sense, but also in the physical sense.
Thing, yeah. So, and maybe a person is a little shy of something. He may doesn't like some parts of his body, and he covers something or doesn't want to show it. But still, there is something that, again, the duality that you like it and maybe hate it at the same time.
Yes.
Though this poem is contains a lot of self-criticism and self-doubt, it still has a strength in the fact that the lyrical me is aware of all of that, and doesn't just float like a leaf in the wind.
Like it was especially hard in the imperfectly reducible here and now. There's a lot of like syllables that are the same and that kind of bounce around.